What up, YouTube? Talking to the nice guys. I got a interesting one for you, especially if you're trying to get into serious relationships and avoid some of the pitfalls that many men go through as far as long-term relationships with women that aren't no good. But the topic of this particular discussion or this YouTube video is how to not fall in love. And basically, we're going to be talking about how to make the feeling of love work for you and not against you. So, the feeling of love is equivalent to letting all your guard down for a person that you believe has your best interest at heart. Love, in my opinion, consists of or the feeling of falling in love with somebody consists of points of interest that cause attraction. And these points of interest that cause attraction can be eyes, the body, the shoulders, chest, abs, personality. Could be how they carry themselves. Could be their stature. Sometimes, you have women who actually know how to be sexy as opposed to sexual. That said, the first part of this is you got to really get to know yourself. And to do this, you're going to have to look at your current relationships. Hopefully you're not in one, that makes it a little bit harder, but it's a bit more fresh, so it actually can be a good thing for you. And so you want to figure out what do you actually like about that particular person. And pardon me, I'm going to be reading notes. What you particularly like about that person, all the attributes. Look at your past relationships. Have like a relationship diary, I recommend. And that way you can kind of write down everything you like, everything you don't like in preparation for this list. Once you get your list down, then you want to highlight the top 5 qualities that would cause you to be really, really attracted to a certain person. And the idea is that if a person has all of these or most of these, then that's what your attraction, that is your key to attraction. Excuse me, or at least falling in love with a particular person. The next step is to use this information to qualify a person, but you also must only allow yourself to not truly fall or qualify any one person until actually they've proven themselves with personal qualities. Now, the partial qualification occurs when a person meets 3 of the 5 attraction qualities that we mentioned before, whatever your 5 are. Ideally, you would keep this in mind as you're meeting people and getting into relationships, and that when you get up to approximately 3 of the 5, you can start looking to be a little bit more serious about qualifying that person with their with the main personal qualities that you may look for in a person. But again, going back to the technique is basically you have 5 things you like in a person. Let's just say if a woman has these 5 things, you're going to be attracted to her, or we'll say you basically fall in love with her. So she can have nice eyes, she can have a nice backside, she can have a nice body scent, she can have a nice chest, she can have a nice personality. And what you want to do if she meets 3 of these, you want to avoid entertaining the other 2. So if you know that she's got 4 things, and the last thing is you haven't seen her backside, you need to not look at her backside until you qualify her as a good person for you. Now, ideally, you'll do 2 things. Let's just say her backside and maybe her body scent or something like that. And so that way you got a little bit of cushion. And you want to avoid looking at those two things until you can actually qualify them or not. If they don't qualify, kick them to the curb. So you avoid those two things. We'll say her backside and her natural scent. And it's going to require discipline. So the next thing is going to be to establish what your personal qualities that you're looking for in a particular person. And you'll have 10, and we'll say you want to make sure she meets at least 5, but probably more like 8 of these qualities you want to make sure. And make sure you do a good evaluation of what you like and what you don't like about a particular woman. And that way it can be as accurate as possible. So they have these good attributes, then, they're going to be more of a safe bet for you as someone to fall in love with, But there's no guarantee. And but basically that is what I told you is basically how you that's the process in itself that's going to protect you, is identify what makes you fall in love with a person, and then avoid seeing or allowing the last two to actually come to fruition. All right. So examples of personal qualities you can look for in a particular woman is she must be clean. All right. You like take showers, because I hear that's a thing nowadays for some reason. She must express clear interest in you and no other men. She should have a good relationship with her parents. Believe in marriage before sex. We'll say these are examples. I'm just off the top of my head just thinking. We'll say no kid, good with finances. You respect them and their career. Make sure you want to live in the same place. Make sure they're nice and kind to other people. Make sure you both have similar goals. You really want a woman that doesn't really talk over you. You want somebody to actually listen to you and actually appreciate your opinion. Honesty. If she messes up, is she honest with you about her mess up, or does she just blame somebody else? Or does she blame you? Does she apologize? Does she lie? And, come up with a good list. And you can have the list as long as you want it, okay? But it should be something that you can at least remember and manage. Because the ultimate goal is to disqualify a woman, all right? And then qualify the woman that meets all the requirements as well as your level of attraction. And so I would also recommend, kind of like on a side thought, is that you actually don't just be hot and heavy with a particular woman. For this to work probably in its best way possible, you want to be in a talking stage with a woman, which basically means you're entertaining a relationship with her, but you haven't actually decided on a relationship. And you can make that known to her. And also make it known, and I would recommend just say, hey, look, if you find something about me or you that she doesn't like or that's not cool, and and she feels like she need to walk away, let her walk away. But at the same token, you're going to be able to do the same thing. And that way you both have a way out if you don't feel comfortable in the relationship for whatever reason. Because that doesn't mean just because you're not good for that person doesn't mean you're not good for somebody else, or she's not good for somebody else. So you want to leave that freedom open. And we want to kind of change the face of dating and make dating more of an experience where you learn more about yourself and how you interact with other people, the types of people you need to interact with, and also the people you need to avoid. So during this talking stage, you don't want to have no sex with a person because that can actually mess up stuff. And then you don't really want to be dating on a schedule. Meet every once in a while, every other week maybe, or something like that, or maybe once a week. But you don't want to be spending a whole lot of time, because the more time you spend with somebody, the more you just kind of get used to them. And if you get used to them, you just kind of start looking over stuff. And, the things that normally would bother you, you just kind of push them off to the side. So you want to kind of limit your contact, And that don't mean you don't necessarily communicate, but I would say kind of limit that too. And let that even be a part of the process. If she really likes you, she's going to really probably try to talk to you. And then, you can just use that as well. But once you're going along in the process, if a woman fails 3 or more of your personal qualities tests, like she's dishonest, she's mean, she doesn't clean herself, I would recommend, one, make sure you do like a hierarchy of what's most important, second most important, third, so on and so forth. And then if she breaks your top 5, it's automatic disqualification. But see what she meets and what she doesn't meet. And then if she she doesn't meet 3 of your 10 list of 10 qualifications, or even 3 is kind of like borderline, 5 is definitely a no-no. That's a good reason to just say, you know what, I think, you're a cool person. However, I don't think you're the right person for me. And y'all just break up. At that particular point, you're really only in the talking stage anyway. So it shouldn't be that serious. But some people can't take it serious. But that's part of the reason why you want to make it an easy out for you and her, so that you guys don't feel that pressure, And, even make it, I might make one of these for women as well, but you can make it where she learns more about herself, learns more about you, and then at the end of that relationship, you can actually kind of critique each other, respectfully and nicely, and just say things you like and things you didn't like, or at least ask one thing. What's the top things you didn't like about you? And if she wants to know, you can tell her the top things that you didn't like about her. And that way you can either work on it if it's something that you can work on, and then just move on. So another thing to say is, I think the quicker you vet a person, the better. Because like I said before, the longer you spend with a particular person, the harder it's going to be to actually leave that person. And I would imagine any woman is really, truly interested in, excuse me, it's really, truly interested in you, she's going to stay. Just like if you really and truly want to know about how to keep from falling in love, you'll stick with this video. Even though I'm yawning on this other junk, that's which I apologize for. But a person who really, really wants someone or something is going to press through all the bad situations and whatever to get what they want. And that's something you should just recognize while you're on this process of trying to find a good relationship. Now, if a woman does pass on your personal qualities test, then it should be okay to allow your attraction cycle or process to complete itself. So at that point, you can look at a backside, you can smell a natural scent, or whatever your list or your 2 holdbacks are for attraction. And you can get more serious in the relationship. And that way you can, do more of a courting thing. But I would also warn you that just because she passes that part doesn't mean she's going to continue to pass. Because some women are just good at not being process. They have a hidden lifestyle, and they may want you because they see value in you, and they know how to play the game. But, you know, it's just the way the world is. But that said, that's pretty much the whole process. And it's not perfected. It's just something I was just thinking of, and based off of things I've heard, things I experienced. And the idea is to hopefully help you as a young person or even an older person to kind of be able to vet a person, give you a process of how to vet a person that's actually going to be more specific to you and not just something or somebody else says. You got to do some work to actually make this process work for you, or make this how do you say, guard? It's kind of like an armor process to help protect you in the process of relationship and allow you to not get hurt as you probably would be if you just fell in love with somebody and then found out they weren't the person. So I figure if you hold yourself back from falling in love and then, keep your little guard up, if you find out something wrong, it just gives you a chance and opportunity to push it away and minimize the damage to your heart. Okay? But at the same time, I think the process to give you more confidence in the person that you're with, because they're actually meeting actual characteristics and things that you need to be attracted to them during this process. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is basically how to make feeling love work for you, and how to make the feeling of love work for you and not against you. And we've been talking about basically how not to fall in love, or at least to kind of pause the love process in order to give you a chance to evaluate the person and make sure they're the right person for you, or at least a good choice for you. But nobody's perfect, and hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you know somebody who will probably benefit from this process, please pass it on to them. And I'd appreciate the likes. I'd appreciate you subscribing. And I hope you guys take care and enjoy your life, and have fun when you're looking at a relationship and learning about yourself. Take care.